Hello and a very warm welcome to Game On. I'm Neha Bharadwaj-Alter, and tonight it's Delhi Capitals versus Kolkata Knight Riders, who haven't lost a game this season. Delhi stopped Chennai at their adopted home ground in Visakhapatnam. Can they register back-to-back wins by beating another team on a winning spree? Let's set that game up for you. Delhi Capitals had a perfect outing in the last game, and Prithvi Shaw, who was playing his first game of the season, gave them an explosive start. Rishabh Pant at number 3, the captain, he scored a 50 to turn the clock back. And then their pacers kept the mighty CSK batting quiet to win their first game. They will need to repeat the same process against Kolkata in a hot and humid Vizag.
Delhi Capitals produced an all-rounder team effort on Sunday to outplay defending champions Chennai Super Kings. 3 days later, the Rishabh Pant-led combined faced their second big test at their alternate home venue, Visakhapatnam, as they host another formidable side, Kolkata Knight Riders. DC will be eager to replicate the performance they put on display in the Andhra Pradesh port city 3 days back. The task, however, is not going to be easy against KKR, who are one of the 2 unbeaten teams in the tournament so far. Hosts DC will be charged up after their first win in 3 matches, not just for the final outcome, the 20-run victory, but for what they achieved in the process to prevail over 5-time champions Chennai Super Kings, CSK. Pant gave enough indication in DC's defeats in their first 2 matches that he hasn't lost much in his batting prowess. He got starts but failed to convert. Against CSK, promoting himself to the number 3 position, the DC skipper consolidated on a good start with a trademark Rishabh Pant half-century. The timing and force behind his strokes established that Pant of the past was back at its best. The Delhi skipper should only grow strength to strength from his 32-ball 51, which came with 4 fours and 3 sixes. The knock also gives DC and their skipper a huge psychological boost. Prithvi Shaw had watched in frustration from the dugout as DC lost their first 2 matches. The veteran Mumbai batter got his first opportunity against CSK and made the most of it for himself and for his team. The 24-year-old batter holds the promise to play the far more bigger role than his 27-ball 41, which included 4 fours and 2 sixes. He needs to prolong his rhythm in his own interest to push himself back to the scheme of things for India selection. David Warner along with Shaw gave DC a much-needed solid start. Warner was the lead partner in 93-run opening stand against CSK as DC scored almost 10 runs per over till his departure in the 10th over. The Aussie veteran's 47-ball 53 was the top score in Visakhapatnam on Sunday. DC will be looking for a similar start from Warner to have an early advantage against the KKR attack, which can be exploited well. DC middle order 2 holds promise, and if the team clicks as unit, KKR might find it hard to maintain their winning streak. If South African batter Tristan Stubb and Australian all-rounder Mitchell Marsh find their groove, Capitals will be able to maximize their full potential in batting department. Khalil Ahmed's brilliant spell against CSK was a breath of fresh air for the Capitals, who struggled badly in the bowling department in the first 2 matches. Khalil has been impressive with the new ball, hunting in pair with Mukesh Kumar. DC had missed Kuldeep Yadav, who nursed a niggle in the last game. They must be ready to get him back in the 11. His return will boost the bowling attack. The team will be looking forward to an inspired performance from spinners as Kuldeep rejoins Akshar Patel. Shreyas Iyer-led Kolkata Knights have reached Visakhapatnam from the back of 2 impressive victories. They opened their campaign with a close win against Sunrisers Hyderabad and then beat Royal Challengers Bengaluru to keep the slate clean. The 2-time IPL champion side will look to continue their superb run of form. In their first 2 matches, KKR have looked like one of the most balanced units in the tournament. New recruit Phil Salt, all-rounder Andre Russell and Venkatesh Iyer have all started off on a positive note. The KKR trio would aim to carry their good form against the Capitals. Shreyas Iyer, the KKR captain, also found his form against Royal Challengers Bengaluru. He led the team past the victory line with an unbeaten 39, which came off 24 balls with 2 fours and 2 sixes. But it was all-rounder Sunil Narayan in his role as an opener and Venkatesh Iyer at number 3 who made the mockery of formidable 183-run target which KKR had overhauled with more than 3 overs and 7 wickets to spare. Narain had unleashed a fury with his 22 ball 47, slamming 2 fours and 5 sixes to capitalize early in the power play, and then Venkatesh had battered RCB out of the contention with his power-packed half-century with just 30 balls with 3 fours and 4 sixes. KKR though need a major improvement in their bowling department. Barring rookie pacer Harshit Rana, other bowlers including record by Mitchell Starc and Varun Chakravarti have failed to live up to their potential. KKR have been struggling with the ball in power play. They have tournament's worst economy of 10.75 in first 6 overs. This is the luxury they can ill afford against DC. In head-to-head record, both the teams are very close, with DC having 15 wins to KKR's 16. A win for the host today can restore parity.
The pressure is on Mitchell Starc after he was bought for a record 24.75 crore and hasn't been able to live up to the expectations. But KKR's bowling coach Bharatiya, he's not worried about Mitchell Starc. He is probably one of the most experienced bowlers in the world. This is what Bharatiya has said. And also somebody who understands the conditions and adapts to it well. I think you will see a different version of him in the future games. We've been talking about his strengths. I'm sure he understands what it is and what it takes to succeed. The kind of experience he brings with him, having played in all the conditions, it is just a matter of time before you see Starc return in his elements. Meanwhile, Praveen Amre is confident about DC after they're coming off a big win over CSK. He said, and I quote, "We respect every game and each opponent. They are coming on the back of 2 wins, but we are focused on what we have to do. We played well against CSK and we are a confident side. We make sure the crowd supports us and we want to finish on a nice note as it is our last match in Visakhapatnam." Another fiery spell of pace from young gun Mayank Yadav saw Lucknow Super Giants defeat Royal Challengers Bengaluru by 28 runs in the IPL yesterday. The 21-year-old pacer, who clocked 156.7 kilometers per hour, the quickest ball of the tournament so far, grabbed 3 for 14 as RCB were bowled out for 153 in 19.04 overs in front of their home crowd for a third loss in 4 games. LSG were put into bat by Faf du Plessis and scored a formidable 181 for 5 in 20 overs. Aided by dropped catches, the 2 main run scorers of the innings made RCB pay. Opening batter Quinton de Kock scored 81 off 56 balls, and Nicholas Pooran overcame a sluggish start to finish with 40 from 21. South African de Kock was on 32 when Glenn Maxwell dropped him at long on, and in all he hit 8 fours and 5 sixes, while Pooran went on to smash 5 sixes in the last 2 overs after getting a reprieve from Anuj Rawat when he'd scored just 2. From the RCB bowlers, Aussie Glenn Maxwell was the pick with 2 for 23 from 4 overs, with the wickets of KL Rahul for 20 and Marcus Stoinis for 24. And seamer Yash Dayal conceded 24 runs from his 4 overs while taking 1 wicket. RCB's chase started with du Plessis and Virat Kohli adding 40 of 26 fours, which raised hopes for the Chinnaswamy fans. Kohli made 22 of 16 balls before he gave a catch to the fielder at backward point as he attempted a big shot against impact substitute spinner Maniraman Siddharth. And then du Plessis was run out while going for a quick single of Yadav's first ball in the power play. The fast bowler proceeded to run through RCB's middle order with the wickets of Maxwell for a duck and Cameron Green for 9 as the home team slipped to 58 for 4 in the 8th over. RCB's impact substitute Mahipal Lomror made a rollicking 33 of 13 balls, but LSG remained always in control as Yadav returned to bounce out Rajat Patidar before Afghanistan fast bowler Naveen-ul Haq finished off with 2 for 25. The win puts LSG in the top 4 with 2 wins from 3 matches, while RCB are at the 9th position with 1 win from as many games. For the second match in a row, Mayank Yadav made heads turn with his raw pace as he pocketed a second consecutive Player of the Match award. The 21-year-old fast bowler dismissed the Aussie pair of Glenn Maxwell and Cameron Green in a fiery spell during which he clocked 156.7 kph, the quickest ball of this IPL season so far, en route to figures of 3 for 14 in LSG's 28-run win over RCB last night. Yadav, who missed the 2023 IPL because of injury, made a splash on IPL debut in the previous game when he impressed with speed and figures of 3 for 27. And on Tuesday at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, he was in his element once again. After an opening stand of 40 was snapped, it was Yadav who ripped through RCB's middle order with the wickets of Maxwell, who was caught at mid-on for a second ball duck, and Cameron Green, who was bowled for 9. Later in the second innings, Yadav returned for a second spell and bounced out Rajat Patidar, who mistimed a pull shot to be well taken in the deep by Devdutt Padikkal. Yadav's second display of sheer pace and hostile bowling has him leading LSG's bowling charts with 6 wickets at just 6.83 per scalp, and he's behind only CSK's Mustafizur Rahman on the overall season table. Mayank Yadav was spotted in 2021 by Vijay Dahiya, who was the UP coach, and the Delhi and UP teams were practicing close to each other in a Vijay Hazare Trophy match. He saw Mayank in the nets and he was convinced that he'd found an exciting talent for LSG, with whom he was an assistant coach and scout. He spoke to Gautam Gambhir, who was the mentor for LSG at the time, and asked him to pick Mayank at the auction. LSG bought him at the auction for the base price of 20 lakhs, and rest, as the cliche goes, is history. However, despite being part of the Lucknow franchise, Mayank has had to wait for his chance because in the first half of IPL 2023, he was injured and he was ruled out of the whole season. He lost his footing during practice and he tore his quadriceps. But LSG decided to help him and with his rehab, and 2 months later he picked up 12 wickets for North Zone in the Uday Trophy. So he's finally got a chance to show what he's capable of, and if he continues to trouble batters with express pace, there's a chance he might make it to the T20 World Cup scheduled after the IPL. But having said that, we've seen the rise and fall of Umran Malik, who couldn't build on his brilliant performance in the IPL and has now fallen way down in the pecking order. So before hyping Mayank Yadav up, there has to be a plan on how to make sure the youngster is kept fit and does not lose his way like many others. And Mayank's searing spell of 3 for 14 in 4 overs at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, including wickets of Glenn Maxwell, Cameron Green, and these two are batters, remember, who are used to facing high speeds on bouncy pitches in Australia. But they were rushed up by Mayank Yadav, and then there was a well-set Rajat Patidar who couldn't tolerate his pace. This is what Mayank had to say about his performance. He said, and I quote, "Feeling really good to get 2 Player of the Match awards in 2 games. But I'm more happy that we won both games. My aim is to do well for the country for as many years as I can. This is just the start and my focus is on the main goal. You need quite a few things to bowl at this pace, like diet, sleep and training. If you want to bowl fast, it is important to be perfect in everything. My focus is on my diet and also on my recovery, like taking an ice bath." And the LSG captain, KL Rahul, who has backed Mayank Yadav in the franchise, was also left impressed by his exceptional speed. He said that he was keeping wickets yesterday, and one of Mayank's balls hit his gloves really hard. So this is what he had to say. He said, "So happy to see Mayank bowl the way he is bowling in the last couple of games. He has quietly, patiently waited for 2 seasons in the dugout. He missed out last year because of injury, unfortunately, but he's been in Mumbai with the physios working really hard. He understands bowling 155 kph is not easy. At a young age, he's already had a few injuries. He has a great temperament and I'm enjoying seeing him bowl from 20 yards behind the stumps. That's where I'd like to be when he is bowling." And this is what another fast bowler had to say about Mayank Yadav. Yes, former Australian fast bowler Brett Lee said this. He said, first things first, I don't want to put any extra pressure on him, because if we are talking about the chance to represent India, it could put pressure on a guy who's just 21 years of age. But I am super impressed with what I have seen so far. He's got great pace, nice action, and got 3 wickets the other night. So I'm really excited to see how he progresses in next few months. With that, we're going to slip into a short break, but when we return, we get you all the latest from the points table, as well as the orange cap and the purple cap. So stay with us.
Building a business in India is an adventure sport. And if you're a woman founder, then it's double the challenge.
I come from a very orthodox Marwari business family where girls don't normally work for other people.
When I started out, pet care was not really an industry.
I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so starting something on my own was a no-brainer.
I started the company as a marketplace for people to go and book private jets.
It has taken many, many years and trying.
As a woman founder, I would say take small steps.
It's been about building a brand and a category from scratch.
Believe in the idea that diversity builds better businesses.
We can't leave women behind all over again.
Welcome back. Now, while Mayank Yadav left RCB batters gasping with his express pace, it was Quinton de Kock who set the base for Lucknow with the bat with his second successive half-century this season. The South African was left on the bench last season with Kyle Mayers preferred over him. In fact, he was removed from Durban Super Giants captaincy in SAT 2020-24 this year. But he refused to be bogged down by these setbacks. He's been a top performer in the IPL in the past and with his second 50 this season. Not only is he proving his critics wrong, he's helped his franchise LSG notch up 2 back-to-back wins. The former Mumbai Indians batter was dropped on 32 by Glenn Maxwell, and he didn't let that chance go to waste. He completed his half-century in 36 balls, and with that has now got his 22nd 50 in the IPL. That's not all. He also hit some big milestones. Along the way, he completed 3,000 runs in the IPL while playing his 99th match in the league. The Proteas batter is the 23rd player to complete 3,000 runs in the T20 tournament. He has also joined AB de Villiers and Faf du Plessis in the 3-member list of South African batters with 3,000 runs in the IPL. Batting at a strike rate of 144.5, de Kock creamed 8 fours and 5 sixes against RCB to score 81 of 56 balls, helping set the platform for LSG to get to 181 for 5 in 20 overs. While de Kock top scored for LSG, West Indies power hitter Nicholas Pooran remained unbeaten on 40 of 21 balls to provide the impetus towards the end. Let's talk about the orange cap holder now. Who has the highest run scorer so far this season? And it is Virat Kohli, who's back at the top. He's the orange cap holder with 203 runs in 4 matches after RCB versus LSG match, surpassing Riyan Parag of Rajasthan Royals. Parag is second with 181 runs, while Sunrisers Hyderabad's Heinrich Klaasen holds the 3rd spot with 167 runs. And there is LSG batters. They jumped into the top 5 list for the IPL 2024 orange cap. Nicholas Pooran now sits in 4th with 146 runs, and Quinton de Kock, he grabs the 5th spot with 139 runs. Let's also take a look at the bowlers who are doing well. Who holds the purple cap at the moment after the RCB LSG match? Mustafizur Rahman from CSK continues to be the purple cap holder this season with 7 wickets in just 3 matches. Following Rahman is LSG's pace sensation Mayank Yadav, who's jumped to 2nd in the wicket-taking charts and now has 6 wickets in just 2 games. And there is the spin wizard Yuzvendra Chahal. He has dropped to the 3rd position. Mohit Sharma of Gujarat Titans comes in at 4th place, and then there is Khalil Ahmed of Delhi Capitals. He takes the 5th position. Okay, let's also take a look at the points table. Rajasthan Royals, they continue to be right at the top of the IPL 2024 points table after the conclusion of the match from last night, Royal Challengers Bengaluru versus Lucknow Super Giants. Rajasthan are at the top. They won all 3 of their games. They are followed by Kolkata Knight Riders and Chennai Super Kings. RR have 6 points in 3 games, while KKR have 2 points in 2 matches. Chennai are at the 3rd spot with 4 points in 3 games. Then there is LSG and GT who round off the top 5. Bengaluru are languishing in the bottom half of the points table with just 1 win. And there's Mumbai Indians as well, who are yet to get off to a win. Sunrisers in the 6th place, DC 7th, and PBKS in the 8th position. Bangladesh and CSK pacer Mustafizur Rahman may not be available for Chennai Super Kings' next IPL game against Sunrisers Hyderabad in Hyderabad on Friday. According to reports, the left-arm seamer has returned to Bangladesh to sort out his visa, along with the rest of the travelling contingent for the upcoming T20 World Cup, which will be hosted by the West Indies and the USA. The T20 World Cup will kick off on June 1st, less than a week after the IPL final on May 26th in Chennai. Mustafizur had already made a big impact this season for CSK with his cutters and extra pace, claiming a table-topping 7 wickets that we just showed you in 3 games at an average of 15.14 and an economy rate of 8.83. 4 of those 7 wickets came in a space of 10 balls on his CSK debut against RCB in the season opener at Chepauk. He's the only Bangladesh player to have attracted a bid in the IPL auction. Last year, in the absence of Mustafizur, CSK could bring back Sri Lankan mystery spinner Mahesh Theekshana against Sunrisers. England's off-spin bowling all-rounder Moeen Ali is another overseas option for the Chennai team. This also means if he's not available, CSK will have to break up a strong pairing between Mustafizur and Matisha Patirana, who operates at the depth in T20 cricket. CSK, like I said, they are currently 3rd on the points table with 2 wins in 3 games and both victories coming at their home base, Chepauk. Okay, moving on to football. Cristiano Ronaldo scored the 65th hat-trick of his career, which was also the second in as many matches as Al Nassr thrashed Aba 8-0 in the Saudi Pro League on Tuesday. Ronaldo converted 2 free kicks in the first 20 minutes before turning assist provider with a cutback for former Liverpool forward and Senegal international Sadio Mane. The 39-year-old 5-time Ballon d'Or winner then completed his hat-trick in the 42nd minute with a beautiful first-time chip finish off the APA goalkeeper, bringing his tally for the season to a league-leading 29. He's 7 goals ahead of his nearest rival in the race for the Golden Boot. Ronaldo then extended his total goal contributions to 5 when he set Saudi midfielder Abdul Majid Al Sulahim for a tap-in before Abdul Rahman Garib scored. 6 minutes after the restart and second half, substitute Abdul Aziz Al Aliva netted a brace with goals in the 63rd and the 86th minute to conclude the goal fest. The 8-0 annihilation sees Al Nassr move up to 62 points, 12 behind league leaders Al Hilal, who also secured a comprehensive 3-0 win at home to Al Ukhdud on Tuesday. Manchester United defender Rafael Varane has said concussions have damaged his body as he stressed the importance of creating more awareness among players around the dangers of heading. The Frenchman said he had suffered a concussion a few days before playing in France's 1-0 defeat to Germany in the quarterfinals of the 2014 World Cup, as well as his former club Real Madrid when they lost to Manchester City in the last 16th second leg of the 2020 Champions League. The 30-year-old retired from international football after a 10-year career with Le Bleu, during which he won the World Cup in 2018 and was a runners-up 4 years later. Varane began his professional football career in France back in 2010 at Lens when he was a teenager. The 30-year-old has gone on to make 476 senior appearances across his career with United, Lens and Real Madrid. Now the centre-back has opened up on how heading and head injuries may have damaged his long-term health, as well as the advice he gives to his son when playing football. He said in an interview, he said, "My 7-year-old son plays football and I advise him not to hit the ball. For me, that's essential. Even if it doesn't cause any immediate trauma, we know that in the long term, repeated shocks can have harmful effects." He also said personally he doesn't know if he'll live up to be 100, but he does know that he's damaged his body. The dangers of headers need to be taught to all football professionals and to young people. Okay, now we all know about Mike Tyson, among the most successful professional boxers and once considered among the baddest men on the planet. A 58-year-old, the former heavyweight champion, is returning to boxing for a lucrative showdown. He will be up against Jake Paul, a former YouTuber who turned to professional boxing. The latest challenger is not even half of Tyson's age. Contrary to the hesitations of how his personality will be viewed, Tyson has stated that zero concerns come to his mind about any sort of damage to his status. Tyson, as a professional, has achieved almost everything a boxer could think of getting in the ring. His 27-year-old opponent, Jake Paul, comes with the experience of just 10 professional bouts. Tyson perceives the fight as separate from his illustrious achievements in the 1980s. He's seeing it as a sparring experience rather than a continuation of his professional career. The bout between one of the most feared fighters in history and the YouTuber turned boxer Paul will be held at the AT&T Stadium, which can seat about 80,000 people, and it'll be streamed live on Netflix. Those who are questioning Tyson's return at the age of 58, when even people in corporate start retiring, the boxing legend has a counter question. With that, we've come to the end of the show. That's it then. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
The football is mother of all games.
It is a team sport.
The leadership attitude is taking the ownership.
It's always a big responsibility.